See here. Okay, well, I want to welcome everyone back to the Vision Builders podcast. And today I am extra excited because I have my fellow academic slash entrepreneur slash ministry loving sister girl in here, Dr. Briana Whiteside. She is a former college professor turned public intellectual, author, and speaker who helps audiences bridge faith, strategy, and imagination. She holds a PhD in English, thank you, with a focus on African American literature, and is known for her work on Octavia E. Butler, creativity, and personal transformation. Her work inspires listeners to think critically, y'all, to live intentionally, and to use every part of their story to build lives of purpose and impact, which is clearly why you know she is perfect to talk with us today. Thank you so much, Briana. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me over here with your audience. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity.
Well, yes, and I'm excited to get into it with you because we've talked before. I mean, we met at a conference where
Mhm.
literally I believe you were presenting on Butler, and then from there, like I wasn't letting you go. And so and so one of the things that I think is really important for folks to think about is like this bridge, like how we do what we do and how we get from there to here. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked a little bit about what you do, but can you just enlighten us a little bit on how you knew or when you even realized, right, that you were going to be doing more than
Yeah.
just being an academic?
Yeah. I think I always knew. I think I need to back this up juvenile style because
Okay,
I always
I'm here.
I was a teacher, like born a teacher by gifting, and I knew I wanted to be a teacher in the second grade, but I didn't know what type of teacher. And to be honest, education was my way out of the hood, right? I had to go
Okay.
this route to get out of the ghetto of Chicago. But I found out I was good at it, and I went all the way, and all the things that come along with it. But something within me was just resistant to fully immersing myself in the academy. It was just like this internal resistance and this knowing, like, don't get too comfortable here. Do not
Mm,
get comfortable. Even when I was in grad school, I'm like, I don't know, but this is what I have wanted to do, so I'm going to see it through.
yeah.
And I go all the way like you're told to do, and I get the tenure track job, and my life is doing exactly what I set it up to do. And then there was a moment when I knew it was over and nothing had happened.
Mhm.
I was going up for tenure. My dean was like, "Your case is fine. You're good. Go up for tenure." The advice mainly was from the senior scholars: go up for tenure and then do what you want to do. Do not leave this
Right.
position. And
Always the case.
it's always the case. Yeah, go up.
Always like security, secure the bag. You know?
Yeah, secure the bag. Do
Secure
not
the bag.
give up everything you work for. You're
Yes,
crazy. You're tripping. You need to
right,
think about this. But I
right.
knew I'm a believer, and I knew that, my assignment was up. Long story short.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk a lot about purpose, and that's an umbrella thing, but there are seasonal assignments. And I knew that my assignment was up because my replacement was ready. Whoever came in
Wow.
me. And so I left crying. I willingly left, wrote the resignation, cried about it, questioned myself. But I wrote it in 2023 and submitted it. My last working day was June 2024, and here we are at the end of 2025.
So
And
this is yeah, this is amazing because so much of what we deal with in this moment in particular, but just the idea of having like the level of sensitivity and faith to actually say, no, I know that this season is
so
changing at the
yeah.
very least, right? Like I know that this is my moment
Mhm.
and it's not going to make sense to
It'll never make
a
sense.
lot of people, to any people. Right? To
It
any-
didn't make sense to me.
right.
To be honest, and I was making the decision, but I do want to also say
Yeah.
that I was always interested in doing what I'm doing now outside of academia, but there was no way out of the hood doing this thing, you know?
Mhm.
So mainly I am a content creator, a wig influencer. I write, you know, without the pressure of academic publishing. Like I was always interested in who I am now, but I
Yeah.
could not afford to go that
Okay.
route because I was in survival. I needed to get out. And then when the opportunity presented itself for me to get out, of course, you're like, well, what about the security? What about the 401k? What about, and
Exactly.
I'm like, whoop-de-doo. I don't even know I don't know. And if push comes to shove, you can always go back if that is what you want to do.
That's true. That's true. Like, it's hopefully still gonna be there,
Yeah.
but the way that people teach, I mean, there are multiple ways,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so, like you said, you've dipped your toe out there and said, you're doing these other things,
Mhm.
influencing, etcetera. Now, how did you even know when to start that part? I mean, because
Yeah.
you were an academic, although I understand that feeling of
Yes.
being a bridge, because I felt that way too. It was sort of like, I got one foot over here and one foot someplace
Mhm.
else. So how did you know that I'm gonna try this? I'm just gonna step out here and what to do?
Yeah, so I was already doing it as I was doing academia. So the both were rising at the same time, right? I was building
Okay.
my platform on Instagram. I think I have like 20 something thousand over there and 50,000 people on TikTok. So I was building
Okay.
this platform on Instagram as I was building in my career or my scholars doing my scholarship and stuff. And I you just why you have to be prayerful and discern the times and seasons as the son of
Mhm.
Issachar, as the Bible tells you, who knew what Israel
Mm.
to do. Sorry to go on that route, but
No, that's absolutely the route because how else are you gonna I mean,
you
you
have
gotta
to
have it
know
from
what
somewhere.
season you're in
Yeah.
when you're in that season. And everyone knows.
Mm,
Everyone knows that there's a moment where you're like, do I pivot or do I not? And you have a split
mhm,
second to make a decision. And a lot of people, and I'm grateful that I don't have children and a family, and I did not have to consider all of these other lives. It was just
mhm.
my life and my decision. So if it blew up, it was just on me, right? It wouldn't
Yeah,
disrupt anyone else.
yeah,
But it was at the end of 2022, December, I just woke up and I knew my career was over. Nothing had happened, but it was this knowing, but I did not know how to get from there to from that knowing to the reality of it. And then in
right.
January, I woke up and knew I needed to move to Texas. Now I was living in Vegas. It didn't make sense.
Wow.
Only thing I can say is that your spiritual walk will guide you. And you need to have the sensitivity to do the twists and turns or to be willing to turn when God shifts your story. And I woke up knowing that I was supposed to move to Dallas, but I also knew that if I moved, it was going to trigger the end of the career because they're not paying you. You're on the
Right.
tenure track. They're not paying you to live in another state.
That's not the objective,
Not it.
although
People have done it and they started
people
cracking
have
down.
done it.
If
Uh,
my move was when the pandemic first happened, it would be a different conversation.
it
But
would be a different yes.
they were cracking down on it, and I just knew. But I'm like, okay, Briana, you can decide. Either you're
Yeah,
going to go the sure way, or you're going to take the risk factor and bet on yourself and see what else is possible for you. Because I just never want to die with regret, right? I can say, oh, I
right.
tried this and it didn't work out for me, but at least I have the story to say that didn't work out. And let me tell you,
Let me
rather
tell you what
than
I learned.
rather than I wish I would have tried. I wish I
Right.
would have given myself this opportunity. And so long story short, I end up in Dallas by July. I had moved July and I'm here not knowing why. I'm still like, why? Like my career is still kind of in Vegas. They don't know I've left yet. God, do I still have time? Am I going up for tenure? Like it was this in between place.
What's going on? Yeah, like,
That
that is the actual definition of being in a transition, like, feeling
yes.
like, "I have done this, I'm listening, and I'm being obedient, but
Yes.
what am I doing
And
here?"
I
Kinda
am
thing.
blowing up my life potentially.
Right.
Right? Because I was teaching online. And then I
Mhm.
checked, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is how it all works out. And I was forced into the resignation. Uh,
Mm.
spirit in a way.
Yeah.
I was already scheduled for online classes in the fall. So I'm like, great, I have another semester. I'm already in Dallas. We'll figure this out. And then I
Yeah.
checked and they had scheduled me for an in-person class after I was already
In the same
scheduled.
semester that was already
Yes.
scheduled?
Yes. And I'm like,
Oh.
well, Brianna's not going to be going to Vegas 2 days a week. And I'm living in Texas. There's no way. I get on
See,
the phone.
that's when you know God is like, "Oh, you're not sure.
He
Okay."
like, I needed you to get out of the state before you saw this because you probably would have backtracked, right?
Yes. You
uh,
wouldn't have left. You'd have
I
been like,
wouldn't have
"Oh, I'll
left.
just wait. I'll just
I,
wait until next semester because,
I'm just gonna see this thing through because I was going up for tenure. My case was due the next semester.
Oh
So
my
I'm like,
goodness.
we can finesse this, y'all know.
Right, right. You're like,
So
"We'll work it out."
to finesse this thing. No, this is September. I get on the phone with my department chair. She's like, there's downward pressure from admin. They're saying we cannot give you this online class. And that is when I had to say, well, let's have a conversation on that phone, unprepared, unprovoked. I didn't have it
Wow.
scripted. I was not ready to voice what I was already thinking. And, thank God for good department chairs, right?
Please. Yes.
Because I have heard the horror stories, and I do
Yes.
have a horror story. She's my second department chair at the university, but I told her I had concerns about my life. I was,
Yeah.
I went into the profession at 28. I was
Yeah.
at that time 33, and I'm like, Vegas is not a place where I can lay down roots. I'm concerned about my social
Mm,
life, building a family, like all of these things that women academics have to consider. And she
right.
was really empathetic and said, so many women have to make this decision, and so many women choose their career.
So many.
And she
It's
said,
true.
so many people live with the regret. And she shared a bit of her story and a bit of the story of the other women. And they were not, I was the only Black woman academic in my department. So this is a white woman saying, yes, there were other white women in this department that struggle and wish they had another opportunity. And we have all considered leaving, but never knew what we could do. What would we do outside of being an academic? And so if you want to leave, I support you.
Wow.
And I said, okay, please don't say anything to anybody. But she went and told the dean, and the dean called me on the phone. What's going on here? I hear you're having some, questions. They came back with 3 offers. My
Mm.
job, 3 offers. And I said, okay, let me think about it. And I just knew you better not take these offers because you know the path that you're on now. If you take these offers, you're not walking in faith. You are holding up someone else's destiny who's supposed to be in your spot in the time that they're supposed to be in your spot. And this next year
Mm.
is probably going to be hell for you if you stay. You know
How
what I mean? So
just all of the answers, like, when you know you're hearing from the Holy Spirit,
you
it's
know,
like, "You better not." Okay.
you
Play
better
if you
not.
want to. Play if
Don't
you
do
want
it.
to.
And I was just like, I was shaking, I was shook. I was
Ugh.
in Dallas, and then I flew into Vegas in November to have the conversation with the dean. The week before I was submitting the official paperwork to resign, that is when a shooting happened on campus. And I would have been
No.
on campus at that time in that building.
No.
Person,
No.
yes. Yeah, this
Oh,
goes back to
no.
obedience.
Oh
The
my gosh.
the shooter targeted professors, not students.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
7 days before submitting this resignation, which whoever's listening, you don't know why God is moving you
You
or you're
don't
feeling this
know.
shift to do this thing, right? I
Mhm.
submit the resignation. I'm tearful. I'm crying. I'm chronicling it on YouTube. And then everything within me started crumbling for 6 months because I'm having to unbecome. I'm still working, right? I still have till June.
Wow.
They know I
Right.
they're already at the end of faculty meetings. Okay, Brianna, you can hop off the Zoom call because we're about to talk about the job
The
search.
job search,
They're
yes.
about to replace you. It's not personal.
Right, of course, because we have to, like, yeah, it's not personal, but we have to move on because we know you're moving
Yeah, and so
on.
I went on this journey, and I won't even lie to you. The 6 months at the last 6 months of 2024 were very difficult. I was like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know because I had been this one person for so long, but I still had
Yeah.
this other thing, this hobby, this thing that I was interested in. And
Yeah.
then the top of 2025 happens, the wildfires in California happen. I'm sitting on my couch crying because I feel like my work had gone to waste and all that research and archival work on Butler. I'm just feeling bad about myself. And
Wow.
I get on TikTok, I see the California wildfires raging, and I said, this moment reminds me of Octavia Butler's Parable of the Sower. I go viral instantly. I'm viral. Um,
Yeah.
I do another video. Let me tell you about her canon. Like, I am like, okay, this is
Yes.
a moment. You're in grief, but this is a moment.
Yeah.
And that birthed my Substack. And I taught Butler's entire canon for free for 9 months to people who were not in the ivory tower, who would not have had opportunity to study with the Butler scholar. I gave them access to her Huntington Library notes that I had. Like, we did a public humanity project on TikTok for 9 months and had 300 students.
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, because obviously we know a lot of things have been birthed, on social media that
Mhm.
have changed the way that we think about education, have changed the way
Yeah.
that we think about the way that people learn and are interested in different topics, etc. And, we could get into how we can clearly see education changing down the road. But
Yeah.
this is amazing that
Yeah.
you had that many people showing up in the public sphere with nothing to gain but the conversation.
The conversation was rich. Was rich.
And,
Okay. And
like, demographically, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about, like, are we talking about traditional student age folks? Like, what are we
no,
talking about
no,
demographically?
we're talking about single mothers. We're talking about people who are retired. We're talking about people who have said, I told my family, don't bother me on Wednesdays because I'm in class. This is people who would not have had access to education or was looking for community to come gather and learn and listen and converse and, like a reading group. It was
Just wanting it.
just
They
wanting
just
it.
they just wanted the
Some
space.
people never had heard of Butler, but like, okay, let me read this book with y'all to see because it was white, black, brown, privileged, non-privileged. We had everybody and their mama in there.
Literally.
Okay. Everybody and their mama, and we're kikiing, cutting up. Everybody mad at Doro from Butler. Like everybody mad. They cussing, they fussing, they got something to say, they going off on the Substack chat. Like it's lit. It's a
It's
thing.
lit. That sounds lit. I'm super jealous in this moment right now because instead of it being this place that, of discussion that you have to police,
Yes.
right? Instead of it being this place that you have to invoke grading and rubrics and whatnot,
Yeah.
it becomes this intellectual and completely organic
Yes.
space of learning and exchange in a
Mhm.
moment
Yes.
that is absolutely critical because they're literally using literature to try and think about that moment, that context. Now, they weren't all Californians, right?
Oh,
Like,
they're everywhere. Some were
okay, that's
even
what
out
I'm
of the
thinking.
country, and they're watching.
Okay,
And
okay.
I what ended up happening because there are different time zones. I just end up creating the Octavia Butler mixtape YouTube so that once we're done on TikTok with the live course, I upload the replays for people to watch and
Wow.
learn because so many people want the information, but
Yeah,
we hold it behind a paywall. And I understand why, right? I
yeah,
understand
yeah.
why you have to, but in that moment, I realized that you have the flexibility. You were just crying on the couch, wondering, is your work going to go to waste? Was this for naught? You can
Mm,
give this back and create a new sense of purpose if you still want to hold some type of academic rigor or be part of the conversation. You
yeah.
can give this back. And if you want to write an article about it, you can, if you want to,
Yeah, that's
right?
what independent scholars do. And you're an independent scholar at this point. At this point, you can write an article about
Yes.
the experience of doing the
Yes.
thing that you just did
Yes.
as well.
Yes. Yes. And so many students who are grad students who are questioning their journey, wondering if this was something that they could do, they wrote into me like, I'm using your work as a model. I'm doing all
Mhm.
this stuff. Some of it, some of the accolades I wouldn't have gotten, as a junior faculty member.
Right.
It really
Right.
don't matter in the real world, to be honest, what I've learned. I'm like, yeah, let's hop on a call. Like I ended up in Rolling Stone magazine. I'm like, yeah, cool. You know,
Cool.
I don't have to update my CV, but I probably should.
Amazing. No, that's amazing because how often do English
Yeah,
professors end up in Rolling
yeah,
Stone magazine? I mean,
yeah,
it's kind of like it's the dream to have this conversation, to have your work,
yeah,
become such a big part of a public conversation that feels relevant, that isn't just feeling like we're over here navel gazing and talking about, the fine minutia of all the ways that we should be getting students to think about these things that we're thinking about, but
yeah,
rather, and we have a captive audience. I mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the crazy part is that
yeah,
we have a captive audience and are working to,
yeah,
make those things relevant.
yeah.
But you project it out there in a very sort of
In scary way.
personal and scary, but also just like vulnerable, right? Like
Yes.
it was just this vulnerable moment that you were chronicling saying,
Yeah.
I just blew up my life. And
Mhm.
also there are fires. And this reminding you of something in literature is so it's lit to me. You know what I mean? It's like it's fantastic because we were doing it in the classroom, but you
Right.
were doing it in a different kind of classroom because I was
Yes.
teaching
Yes.
Butler at the same time. And it was
Mhm.
like we're lots of us out there teaching literatures, but not necessarily bringing it out of the
To the people.
classroom when it feels like it would hit different.
Yeah, and this reminds me. I'm glad you said that because some of the people who ended up on my life were professors I had encountered as a student, master student, PhD student, who kind of,
Wow.
in their wisdom, advised me against doing my entire dissertation on Butler's works, right? And I understood why you would say this. If you go in this job market, Brianna, they're gonna think you're a one-trick pony. They're gonna think that you're not, marketable. So you need to showcase that you can teach African American literature around 1600s to Octavia Butler. And I could, but my project was Octavia
Right.
Butler. My master's thesis,
Right.
I was clear. I would
Right.
not have been able to teach the entire canon over 9 months had I not had the information, the years of information and material that I had, because so many people didn't know that there was a whole series, 5 books before the
Yeah.
parent series. So many people, so I had spent so much time in Butler's works and in
Yeah.
her head in the archive, right? And so
Mm.
I'm like, I could be the Butler scholar if y'all want to call me that. I'm the one who's on social media talking about it, at least.
At least. But that I mean, and that also raises the point, like, their point about, how academics tend to steer academics, right? Because it's not that they are trying to harm you. It's like they're trying to
Yes.
protect you, they're trying to guide
Yes.
you
Yes.
and keep you on a path that seems right to be
Yeah.
on. But when your path is not that path, and it
Yes.
wasn't to begin with, right? Because
Yes.
you were not the type of person we are not the type of person that they imagine
Right.
when they created English departments in
Correct.
in higher
Correct.
education, okay?
Yeah.
And so but the idea that you could begin to think about your work so independently so
Mhm.
early is also amazing, and to have the audacity, you know?
It was very audacious.
It was audacious
It was audacious.
because that is a lot of audacity because there are so few of us that the idea that you would still stand 10 toes down on thinking, but this is who I am and this is how I connect
Yeah, and
and knowing your journey.
it's just like Butler though, right? She was ahead of her
Yeah,
time in a lot of ways,
100%.
and when I wrote my master's thesis, it was 2012, 2014, and when I wrote my dissertation, it was 2018. So the emergence of interest was on the incline slowly but
Yes.
surely. But
Yes.
I had a knowing like, no, this is what you were called to do. I don't care what has come before you. If I don't get a job, whoop-de-doo. But
Yes.
I want to stay true to myself, and that knowing of who are you? And people, respectfully, people can advise you, but they're only advising you up to what they have experienced and seen. And it just didn't feel right to me that people can write about Milton and Shakespeare and be fine, but you want to question me writing about Butler, who has
Come on.
2009 short stories, who has an
Yeah.
entire canon that has not been explored in depth the ways in which these white men have.
Yeah.
There is no way that you're going to convince me otherwise. And I was a little shaken, but this is why you have to have a good dissertation chair. My
Yes.
dissertation chair, Dr. Trudia Harris, shout out to her, was like, if
Shout
this
out.
if this is what
Shout
you
out the diva.
listen, because I only went to Alabama to study with her, and I made that clear. But in her wisdom, she said, if this is what you want to do, we will do it. That's
Yes.
it. She
Yes.
didn't understand some of the stuff I was writing. She understands it now, but
Right.
writing science fiction, she's foundational in AFAM Lit, not necessarily science fiction. So she's like, this weird, but okay, we're gonna rock with it. And let me tell you,
Different.
that year, the dissertation, this is for somebody, went on to win the department, college, and university-wide outstanding dissertation award. For the
Wow.
dissertation they told me not to write.
The one that you were not supposed to write or focus on that work went on to win all the awards.
All the awards.
All the awards.
Every last one.
And this is the point. This is the point about, like, walking your
Yeah,
journey,
walking path.
you know, like, fiercely.
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna be afraid,
all the time.
right? And
Mhm.
it's gonna but if it sounds weird and unique and odd and it's gonna take something out of you or it's gonna require a different kind of courage, it feels like then that might be what the call is about. Because how could you have known?
I kind of know.
You could not have known that being courageous in that moment
Mhm.
was setting you up for being courageous in this one, so
Not at
that you would
all.
actually step out of it and use that very same subject
Yes.
matter to be courageous in the public sphere after having to step out of it, because you couldn't have done that. See, here's the thing that folks need to understand. You could not have just conducted your class out there for free at the same time without having somebody trying to pull your,
Yes.
you
Hotel.
know,
Oh,
your yeah, pull your coattail about it.
yeah.
I mean, now don't get me wrong, we all, we're diving into Hillman Talk and all the
Sure.
things, when things jumped off, because there are some things
Yes.
that we can do, but
Yes.
there's risk.
Yeah. There will always be risks. I remember when I was still on the tenure track and I was talking about financial literacy. Y'all, I come from the hood. I don't come from money. And
Yeah,
I'm getting my money together. I'm sharing my journey because this is part of who I am and what I do on social media. I want to inspire you to do better, right?
yeah,
And I
yeah.
remember a professor who followed me on social media pulled me to the side and said, you should not be talking about how much money you're saving and doing because we know what we pay you. And
Mm,
and people who are watching and maybe voting on your tenure case may be saying, why hasn't she done more if she can do all this other stuff? And
if
I
she
my
can do
response
all this other
was,
stuff.
I've
Mm.
done the requirements. We had a list when I got hired. You said 5 to 7 articles or a book. I'm at
Mhm,
7. I've done
mhm.
more than the minimum.
Yes.
So why are y'all tripping on me? Because
Right.
I'm ambidextrous and I'm in both marketplaces and y'all want to keep this black girl down. The devil is a liar. It's not going to happen.
Period.
So I
Period.
understand why the
Because
professors,
the idea is that you can do more than it's like wanting to penalize because someone is going above and beyond.
mhm,
And
mhm,
the idea that that anyone would sit around the table and question, well, she should be a better scholar. She
no,
should be better than what we expect because she's already better than what we expect
yeah, I already met your requirements. Unless you're going to change the requirement for everybody
for
else, you
everyone.
have nothing to say to me. I don't have a family that I need to focus on. I don't have, I have to say the luxury to do what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
Right.
they did try to police that, and I realized why Human Talk became what it did, and I understand it, and I understand the demands of the professors whose hearts who may have been in the right place, but their universities put that demand on them, like, this is your first call. This is what you need to focus on because this is your lifeline. It just so
Mm,
happened for me, I didn't have that. So it was
mm,
just up to me. Do you want to show up today? Do you not? How
mm,
fast will you all read these books? Do y'all need to spend more time? Do you have the bandwidth to talk to people in the private groups? What can you do? It was all on me,
mhm.
you know?
Yeah, you got to create the space that you
Yeah.
wanted to see,
Hmm.
and just in the same way that we use the quotes, creating the change, creating the spaces too, and allowing that. So it's like this thread of courage that happened for you. And so what about in these other spaces for you then? Because you stepped out of that academic space. You were already working within that space because you could,
Hmm.
right? And you had already
Yeah.
built something in that
Yeah.
space because you could.
Yeah.
And so what was it what did you think to yourself, okay, now I've just got to turn my energy differently because you ended up doing scholarship publicly. So what's the rest of it? Like how does that look
Okay.
now?
So you're talking about like the influencing and stuff?
Yes, like, what are the other
It at
things
the
that you
at
end up
as the
doing?
songwriter say, at the same dang time. At the same dang time. It was happening at the same time because in my mind, I was all just like, okay, well, let me just do the beauty stuff. Let me just do this stuff. Like, I wasn't ready to talk about the career leaving because my heart was still broken and I was still trying to figure it out. I'm only
Mm,
6 months out of
yeah,
this thing, right? And so I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not touching that. I'm going to throw my energies here because, oh, it's a distraction, and I'm trying to learn to be okay with how we rank and value certain things, right? Like, oh, this is not important work because it's not serious work.
mm,
But at the same time, I always knew like I do like doing my hair. I do like makeup. I do like the girly things. Like I've always liked it. When I will get on punishment as a kid all summer, I would
mhm.
be at home drawing girls with outfits and things like that. Like I was always interested. My
That
mom
was
always
always
said
part of who you were.
Rihanna knew who she was at a young age. Okay. She was just born into a hard circumstance. My
Yes.
mom used to always say, when I send you to school with your hair one way, you come back with another way. You ain't know how to do my hair. Like, let's just be clear. So I've always been interested. And so I was just starting out on wig influencing and just like, oh, these wigs. And I also have my natural hair. So this big hair, it draws a lot of people in when I have it out. And so I'm doing these things, having these conversations, leaning into it, and then at the same time this thing is rising. There's this wig influencing, I'm getting paid by brands now, they're sending me free products, all of these things. The
Mm,
academic is rising again, and I'm having to
mm,
decide, either you're going to do both or you're going to let an opportunity fall, and I would be danged if I ever
mhm.
let an opportunity slip. I would rather do it imperfectly
Yes.
and do my best than not. And I had only wanted to do the TikTok course for full 3 months. I was only going to teach 4 books, and they're like, "Well, we may not get this opportunity again. We're here now. We'll buy the books." It was just a thing. It was a moment that I
Wow.
realized you're in a time and season, and you're going to have to do both. And you've always been both and, right?
Always.
You've always been both and you don't have to privilege it. And so I was like, okay, cool. On Wednesdays, we teaching live on TikTok. I'm stored in the Substack with discussion questions, polls, things you want to think about. But every other day on my social media, I'm showing y'all a new wig, an outfit. I'm talking about money. Like I'm doing whatever I want to do over
All
there.
the things.
All, I can
That's
only be
uh,
me.
but it's really just you doing you. I mean, it's
Yeah,
you doing the things that you love to do. You're just simply sharing yourself
that's
with
it.
people.
Yeah,
That's it. A
yeah. And
lot
I'm
of people think of it as, "Oh, it's another thing. I don't wanna do another thing because that's another like, it's a whole other job," and it's like, but it depends on where you're coming from, right? From where that thing emerges.
and
Because if
I'm just
this is stuff that you were gonna be doing anyway,
gonna do it anyway. I was
because
gonna do
you already said Brianna was gonna be in the mirror with, like, changing her hair
yeah.
anyway.
was going to do it, when I was still in academia and still in Vegas, I was showing them what I was wearing to campus. I was doing it anyway. I was
Doing it
talking about it
anyway.
anyway, but at the
Mhm.
same time, I was also trying to get out of financial debt, credit card debt. And I was like, I'm going to show you how to shop on a budget. Like it was like very specific and key things to my life.
Mhm.
But well, when I realized that my money, my earnings potential was not tied to academia, was the day I made 40 grand in 90 days off
Wow.
influencing.
Just on influencing because you had already been doing the thing that
Yeah,
you were doing,
I
and
realized
suddenly you looked at the account and you were like, "Wait, now what now?"
now wait a minute, because 90 days, that's not my salary.
Okay, like, "Say what now?" Because the possibilities change.
The
And
possibility change.
and can we just say that when you're walking in your lane on your journey, can we say that?
Ain't nobody beat you at doing you and being you.
Can nobody beat you at doing you.
And it's going
When
to
you're
look weird.
walking in your lane,
It's going
the
to look
resources come.
until it has feet and can run. And I want somebody to know that what you're doing is going to look weird in its infancy until it has feet and can run. Once it runs, that's kind of biblical, right? The vision, make
Yes.
it plain. So those who
Yes.
on the run, right?
Yes.
This thing will run if you work it.
Yeah.
But we've been put in a society where we have to choose all the time. And I think that my personality and identity just would not allow me to choose for long. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
It
I was
wouldn't.
gonna say that it's like we believe we have to choose
Yes.
until somebody doesn't.
Until somebody doesn't. That's true.
Until right? I mean, until
That's
someone
so true.
doesn't and you see them and you're like, "Hold up.
Yeah.
How are
They're like,
they doing this,
you
that,
can't
and the
do
other?"
that. No, you can't do that.
You can right. Like, no, you might not be able to because you have to want it. You have to be your whole authentic self because what I love about your story is that every part of it is coming out of your personal
Yes.
journey, your authentic self. It wasn't like you were looking around like, how can I make money?
Mhm,
Oh, people are doing this. Let me
mhm,
try that. People are
mhm,
doing this. Let me try that. You
mhm.
came out of, no, this is what I'm doing anyway. How can I share myself with the world? And
Yeah.
as you walk this thing forward, it began to open up
Yes.
doors for you
I
and create choices for you.
correct. I actually looked for models. I was looking for them all throughout grad school. All like I was looking for the models, the women who were interested in the things that I was interested in and
Mm.
cared about the things I cared about. And no, I couldn't find them. And I'm like, do I belong here? Like, maybe I don't
Mm.
belong here, but I know this is something that I've wanted since I was in the second grade. So I'm going to see it through and I'm going to see how it feels. And
Mhm.
it didn't give what people said it was going to give. It was good. It was a good life. Hear me. It was a
Yeah.
good, being an academic is a good life.
It's a good life. I'm
It's
here, it's a good life, but it's also more than that.
It is more than that, and I would one of my former colleagues reached out the other day, and he's like, "What how's life post academia?" I was like, "I just got back from Portugal, and I'm headed to Aruba in a few weeks." And he's like, what? You can pull it off?" And I'm like, I had to get out of what was possible for me. Like, I wouldn't have made these travel moves if and I was more stable financially as an academic. I knew what check was coming in on the first of the month.
Right.
But I was still so afraid. I still had like a poverty mentality. My mind could not get out of it, though my body was out. I could
Wow.
not. And this journey, to be honest, in the vein of transparency, was about getting my mind out. I could not get my mind out, though my body was out. Right?
That's some because you were still there.
I was
I
still
mean,
there.
yeah,
The kid
your
eating
mind
syrup sandwiches, like not having enough.
Yes.
All the
Ooh,
things that,
relating.
everything
Yes.
that I endured as a child on the south side of Chicago was still here. But
Mhm.
my body was I made it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I had made
right.
and then when I left, I'm like, you just left. You just left. You left your identity. You left everything. So I had to renegotiate and figure out who are you now? that you're stripped from this title? Because I had a lot of pride in it. I'm not gonna lie, y'all.
Well, I mean,
I
yes.
took a lot of pride. I'm a English professor, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, 100% I do.
Right, like, I had so much pride in it, and as you should be happy and,
Yeah.
excited about your accomplishments, but when it was gone, I'm like, "Well, who are you now?"
Who
And
are
I
you
think I am
now?
living the most authentic version of myself now, knowing that I have had all of this.
Yeah.
I've had it all, but now I'm really living now. This
And
is
you're
the
still
person
Dr. Briana
I'm
Whiteside.
period. And it's so funny, I don't even introduce myself as that, and my friends like, "This is Dr. Bree."
Yes.
Like, it is what
Like,
it is. It depends on what
because no one can take that. That's the
no
thing.
one.
That's the reason, though. That's part of the reason we do it.
Yeah.
Is that once you do it, it's done.
Yes.
And you have that part forever. And getting your mind out of that place
Yeah.
and resituating your identity doesn't mean stripping yourself of
It
what
does
you've
not.
gathered,
Mm-mm.
right?
Mhm. It's
It's
about what are you gonna let to rise what are you gonna allow to rise now?
yes.
Because we're all multidimensional, we all
Right.
have different gifts and talents, and if you hone them, they can all rise at the same time and bring you the greatest yield and results that you want. But you got to be willing to do the work to allow it. And so, while one aspect of my identity may have decreased since I left the academy, it's still there. You still see
Mhm.
I'm doing the Butler work. Uh,
Right.
I submitted my first independent scholar journal article, which
Yeah.
was cool. I know I was like, all right, let's see what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Prove it is what it is. If
Yes.
y'all don't want it, I'll send it to somebody else. But
Yes.
I also it's like, and you could still be the home girl from the South Side of Chicago who does not have to police how she speaks because you have nothing else to prove. You didn't
Right.
done it all.
Done it.
That's all it is.
Come on. You've been done it.
I I'm out here taking brand trips,
Right.
So I'm like, it is what it is. But my academic training does serve me in influencing because when you're dealing with brands and you're negotiating all these things, they do value professionalism. They do value intellect. They value
Oh,
all of these things. And so that kind of sets me apart from a
I was
lot.
gonna say that raises your value in that space that you
Yes.
are that person
Yes.
who is professional,
Mhm.
mature, and understands how systems work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So nothing goes to waste here. Nothing. Nothing will be wasted.
That is fantastic. That's what I'm talking about. That's what it means to do both and.
Yes.
That's how we do it, right? Like it's that you are always using all of you.
Yes, every last bit. Every last bit. And then you'll learn new gifts and talents. Like in 2020, when the world stopped, I learned stock market. I learned how money moved. I learned investing. So then I had the extra courage to leave
Yeah.
this. I'm like, you can go trade these options and make your salary, Brianna. You can. You
Boom.
know, you can. Enough people are teaching for free online. You know how to synthesize information.
Mhm.
And I have not
Got
learned.
all those skills, picked up all of those skills.
Yes.
Can take
Yes.
it, can find patterns, know how to problem solve, can
Yes. It
can do all
works.
those things, know
And
how
you
to
know
read.
about delayed gratification and long suffering because you got a PhD.
That part right there, you already know. Look, you already brought your childhood and understanding of how to make it with the least,
That part.
and also how to study as an adult and
Yes.
to focus and laser focus in and
Yes.
study and pick up. I'm repeating myself, but I'm just saying, like, knowing how to actually do
Mhm.
the work
Yes. You know how to do the work.
associated with it while you still have that child in you who knows how to have the least,
Yes. That
who
part.
knows
Yeah.
how to make it with, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with to have it. Well, it is something wrong with it, but we have done the mayonnaise sandwiches, the syrup
Oh, for sure.
sandwiches, the
Who
the
knows
if
how
you
to
have
base
this,
it down?
yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
block of cheese, like slicing that up, having
You
the
can make it
serves, and do
stretch.
all of the things
Or
that
you
you
can go
know
to
how
the
to
nice
stretch.
restaurant. You can do both. And I just want people, your listeners, to know that you don't have to choose. And
Yeah.
that's the probably the thing that has saved me
Mm.
A lot of ways. I refused for someone to tell me I had to choose because I didn't think I had to choose. Now, you may have to choose certain things in those decisions, but
Mhm.
you don't have to sacrifice yourself at the altar of someone else's expectation of you. You do not have to do that. And it worked out. It's working out.
Yes,
I'm
it's
still
working
scared.
out.
I want to tell y'all. I'm
Of course.
there, but I'm learning that I can fly. I do have the wings. I'm just learning how to strengthen them right now without, the academic backing, without being attached to anything. Like I really believe that now that my name carries enough weight and carries enough weight so it doesn't have to be attached to anything.
That's amazing because you built that thing.
I did. Thank you.
You
Thank
built
you.
you built that thing. I mean, this is what I mean, just your words of just telling people, not that you don't have to choose what you need to do, or if you do choose, choose you. Choose all of you,
Because as y'all
right?
saw, they were like, okay, Brianna, leave the faculty meeting. We about to hire your
How to
replacement.
hire your replacement. And I love how you said at the very beginning, you know, I'm in somebody's way. Like, if I'm not obedient, then I'm not just sliding into someone else's lane. You can also just be in somebody else's
You're
way.
delaying
You're
their next
delaying
step.
you're delaying their position because
Yes.
you've already been told to exit the
Baby,
highway.
you was you were supposed to have been gone
You're supposed to
five
have been
exits ago.
exited the highway. You still on there, and the GPS is like recalculating.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Right. Again. Detour ahead. Again.
Detour ahead,
And
recalculating. Now we
they
got to go around the long way.
the mentor said this is your moment to be selfish, and I'm like, this is
Mm,
not how the world should be working. Like, just because I'm scared but I know what I ought to do, I should not be selfish to hold a position that's no longer mine. It is clear that this is over for me. Y'all don't
mm.
know it, but I
But
know
I
it
know it in my heart,
internally.
in my gut, in my mind, in my spirit. I know it.
Your
And
assignment is over.
that the assignment is over.
The
And it
assignment's over.
doesn't matter what it looks like, and it doesn't matter the timing. The assignment is over. And oh my goodness, I mean, we can't skip over the fact that you would have been in danger. Like,
Ooh,
you
that still chokes me up.
that's because of the timing of things. Like, obedience can save your life.
Can save your life. And you don't know why. I moved in July. I had the unction to move in January. I moved in July when my lease was up. The shooting happened in December.
Yeah.
I was long gone.
Mhm.
But I would have been there.
Oh, but you would have been
I
there
would have
because what folks need to know is that if you were there in August, you would have been there in December.
that part in class, preparing for finals.
Yes,
And the
100%.
person just didn't get a job, didn't get the job, and came back and
Wow.
took three professors' lives.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. And it was sad. It's a sad thing.
It's a horrible thing.
And you get the alerts on your phone from the campus and we're on shutdown. This is not a drill. And I'm like, what is
Wow.
happening? Because I'm removed.
Right.
I don't know what's going on there. And then I see what's going on there. And I'm like, that could have been you. Had you not did the hard thing, even with tears in your eyes, it
Yes.
could have been you.
Even terrified, even
Whew.
wondering, and with nothing. I mean, not nothing. I mean, you had established something and that's a way that you were made safe by the fact that you had already been operating in your authentic self.
Yes.
Because how much harder would that have been if you
So
did not have the
exactly.
other part of you operating so strongly?
Like, You know, I talked to the senior scholars before I did that, made that decision, and everyone was shocked. And they were like, "Okay, yeah, but I always wonder." These are even people at the Ivies.
Mhm.
I wondered what I would do, but I just did. I don't know what I would do. And they're like, "But I think you should do it." Like, and I'm
Yeah.
grateful that when I do not outsource my decisions, because by the
Ooh.
time I say something to someone, I have already decided. I just want to hear your thoughts after I already decided. So no matter what you say, I have already made the
The
decision.
decision was already made. I'm
It was
simply
running it by you, you know,
I'm
kind of.
running it back a little bit just to as
Yeah.
a curiosity.
Yeah, just to hear what you have to say and hear your wisdom. But I'm never willing to outsource my decisions because I'm going to
Mm,
have to live with the consequences of either doing it or not doing it.
mhm.
I did take it into consideration. I understand. Thank you all for your wisdom, but
Right.
I
And
know
sometimes it's for getting the wisdom forward, right? Like,
that part.
sometimes you talk to them about it because you might hear something that
Mhm.
helps you that's something you can take with you,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
what you're looking for, something I can take with me. You're not gonna undo this decision, but there may be
Yeah.
something you take with me, and
For sure.
maybe it'll determine whether I take you with me.
That part. Because if you put any doubt and say, no, I don't think you could do it, you're done.
Like, we're done here. Because
You're
you knew where it was coming from, right?
yes.
Like, it wasn't willy-nilly. You knew where it was coming
Oh,
from,
yeah.
and that's important. That's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
you've given so much advice already to folks, but I think, if I'm sitting in this audience and I'm thinking, "Okay, like you said, with people who are wondering, but I don't know what to do." And we've already said, thinking through those authentic parts of yourself, like diving into your story and who you already are to
Mhm.
figure out the ways that you can build a thing. But do you have any other advice about how to navigate this thing, or even a first step that folks might want to take if they want to just get started in
Yeah.
building something authentic?
Yeah. I think that you cannot take a step if you don't know who you are. You cannot.
Mm,
And so you may have to do the therapy. I was in therapy at the time. You may have to do the hard work of unbecoming
yes.
emotionally and unburdening yourself. You know, Erica Badu has that bag lady song. You have to do the part,
Yes.
taking the bags off and unmasking yourself to really look at yourself in the mirror and say, did I do this out of survival? Or was this part of who I was and what I wanted to do all along? And when you start to have those hard questions and conversations with yourself, the oper- the understanding just becomes clear. I think we all know without a shadow of a doubt what we should do. We just don't know how to get there. The bridge,
The
right? From where
bridge.
we are to what we see. But I'm just going to take a risk and say the how is not any of your concern. That's above your pay grade. That's above you. The how. You
Mhm.
cannot get across the bridge unless you take one step.
That part.
So I didn't know what was truly going to begin unfolding for me. And I wouldn't have seen it had I not submitted the resignation or had I not moved, had the courage to even fly out here in March of that year to say, let me at least look and see.
Right.
So
Right.
as you step, one step reveals the other. And because I'm a believer, I'm going to say, that word that says, the scripture that says, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. A lamp
Yes.
is dim. A lamp
Yes.
is dim. You can probably only see here.
Right. Right.
You have to take that next step because you're walking with God. You take one step, he takes the next. If
That's
you're
right.
not taking your step, he's not taking. He doesn't owe you anything. He
That
don't owe
part.
you, he don't owe you the next step because you didn't take the step
You
he
didn't take the
take.
first one. This is what I'm consistently telling people. I'm like, "Listen, you've gotta step out first, because if you don't have the faith to step forward, why do I need to show you the whole picture?
You don't need the
I
picture.
shouldn't have to show you the entire picture." It's like when, kids are taking their first steps, it's like, "I'm just gonna stand right here.
Yeah.
You just gotta step
Come on.
forward
Yeah.
and
And,
come forward." You
and
don't
it's,
know what's underneath. You don't know what
oh
it's gonna feel
no.
like. You don't know whether you're gonna put the right balance on,
No,
but you're
you
gonna
don't
have
know.
to step out to find out.
And you're gonna step clumsily. And it's
Yes.
not a matter of faith in God, it is about confidence in ourselves. And this is
Mm,
why so many people have been conditioned to, yeah, have faith, but we have
yeah,
not been conditioned to be
that
confident in
confidence.
yourself, in your ability, in who you are, that you can stand on your own 2 feet. And you probably won't get that confidence until you have to do something hard. You
Yeah,
have to do the hard thing. And I know we're coming to the end, but I just want to tell this quick story.
yeah.
When I was in grad school, y'all know they cut us off for funding and when we graduate, right? And there's the 2 months where you're poor, you don't have
Yeah.
any money, you're trying to get a job. Well, I negotiated with my former institution for them to allow me to teach English 101 and 102 over the summer. And of course, I don't have any money. I'm living off my credit cards and I'm teaching, but they had already put my fall contract through. They were switching over to a new workday system, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That summer, it was hurricane season. I'm living in Alabama and a tree falls on the house that I'm renting, which
Oh no.
completely separates the structure. Now, it just so happened that I was in Chicago for a graduation, but where the tree fell, the debris would have hit me in my bed. It would have, I
Wow.
probably would have been. Okay. So I
Wow.
am living in a hotel. Okay. I am experiencing housing insecurity for the first time
Right.
in my life. I don't have any money coming in. I'm teaching, and when I'm supposed to get paid, I don't get paid. And they're like, we're trying to figure out how to get you paid because we can't figure out this new system. I don't know how
Oh my
all of these
gosh.
brains could not figure out this system, but I am living for 2 months. I'm teaching for free. They're saying it's coming, it's coming. I'm like, it's not coming because I would see the pending and it's not. I am already signed the lease for my apartment in Vegas. I had
Mm,
already, terminated the lease in Alabama. I have already started packing and shipping stuff and giving away stuff. And I had already scheduled everything. And y'all, I wake up. This is a hard faith lesson for me. So I'm probably gonna tear
mm,
up. But at the end of July, as I'm about to move to Vegas, I had $32 to my name.
mm.
My credit cards are maxed out, and I'm expected to be in Vegas that next week because I already signed my lease. All of my life is here. I shipped my clothing. I gave away all of my furniture to people who needed it. Like I'm that person who doesn't mind starting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am on this flight to Vegas, face broken out with acne because I'm so scared. I don't know how I'm going to live. I don't know if they're going to ever figure it out. Like I'm on the hook for this rent. I am terrified, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm supposed to be there. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so many people at that time were saying, I wouldn't go. Like there is nothing here for me.
Yeah. I have
So
nowhere to be. I
I'm
have
on
no.
I
Mm,
land, I see all of the mountains surrounding me, and I'm already feeling like mountains are surrounding me. I have
yeah.
$32 in my name. I'm tearful, I'm crying. And I'm like, God, I need this to come through. Like I'm here. I don't have nothing else to do. And the next day they managed to release half of the money the next morning. It was enough because my car was already being shipped. It was enough for me to sign the lease, get my car from the shipping people, and like get start furnishing my apartment. I tell
Okay.
y'all that story because I moved with less than $40 and without any certainty to Vegas, to my career. Was supposed to be a happy time. And y'all know how hard the job market is. I was competing with my
It
friends.
is hard. We have to move to where the job is. That's
If
how I ended up in Ohio.
I had never been in Vegas before in my life, only knew the hangover. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm in a foreign land. I don't know anything, but I know I'm supposed to be here because I know God, you told me when I interviewed this was where I was going to end up, right? I
Okay.
move here, I get this money. The next day I'm in tears. I don't know. I check my bank account. Half the money's there. I'm grateful. Okay, let's go. A few days later, they were able to figure out how to get me the rest of the money. But for 2.5 months, I went through so much doubt and uncertainty on the way to the destination that I knew I was supposed to be at, and I had to withstand it. I had
Mhm.
to believe that I'm going to just keep putting one foot in front of the other, even if nothing is showing me, because I have to believe that something is going to meet me there.
Yes.
And my Bible background is going to come up right here again, because God
Mhm.
told the prophet to go to the brook and the ravens will feed you at the brook, not on the
At the
journey. You got to get there.
You gonna be hungry.
And you got to get there because this is the destination where your blessing is. I had to
Yes.
get to Vegas for that to be unlocked. I had to come here for the next step of my destiny to be unlocked. I had to move when nothing around me said, you're going to make it. And
Mm.
for the last year, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make it, but here I am. I'm out here and I've been making it. And it has required something different of me, but it's not abnormal. It's not, it's just different. It looks different
Yeah.
and it will always look different. When something is taking shape that's new, it would be familiar and unfamiliar. It's going to be uncanny. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, I do.
but it will yield you some of the greatest fruit if you have the courage to abandon maybe something that doesn't serve you or you know is long gone. So, back to your original question, you have to know who you are and why you're here in order to
Mm,
begin to take those steps into the direction of where you see yourself and your dreams.
that's a word. That's a word. If they weren't ready, that's a
Look,
word. No, that's everything. It's the same. So much of that is what flowed through me. This is why I was like, nope, something with us. We're not letting you go. Because
I
it's
appreciate
like
that.
that same word
Yeah.
constantly flowing through, and the thing that I share with people as well and clients as well, just the idea, all of this is so
Mhm.
good. They're getting such good stuff in
Yeah.
this. Thank you so much
No,
for
thank
this
you. And thank
because
you for circling back because the last time we spoke on interview, I said I told you confidently, I'm probably gonna be leaving. Like I
yes.
said this, like, I'm probably gonna be leaving, and then when we meet again in 2025, I'm like, "Yeah, I left."
Yeah, I was like, "Wait, what now?
Like,
What?
I don't remember you. Like, "You're in Dallas?" Like,
Where are
"Yeah."
you? What is
Right.
happening?" Yeah, I was processing Dallas and Portugal and
Yeah.
Aruba. Like, what's
Like, "Where this girl at?" Because when I talked to you,
right.
it was in Vegas, yes. I was beginning the I was at the beginning of the process.
Of the process. That's amazing. It's
Mhm.
amazing. And so many times that I thought of you too. And and I can't wait for what's next for
Thank
you.
you.
Very exciting. I'm super excited because it's like when you were looking for your models,
I didn't have
right? And you don't see them.
Mhm.
But I just really believe that God's raising up models of
New
something
one.
else,
Mhm.
new models of something else,
Yeah. Yeah.
and folks just need to pay attention,
Yeah.
and if they're paying attention, they will see and find the folks who are doing it. Not some, get rich quick, easy stuff, but folks who can walk with you on the journey and show you how this journey operates.
Yeah.
Not making these, quickie promises, because that
Oh,
irks me,
no.
when folks are like, "Yeah, you can get out here and sell whatever and make all kind of money and be on TikTok and
Oh,
da, da, da." And it's like, listen, none of that is what this is about. This is
no.
always going to be about your journey
Yeah.
and being authentic.
Which is why I was clear to share a lot of the low moments, okay,
Yes.
because there were a lot of them.
Right.
No one that I don't wanna sell anyone a highlight reel, right?
Right.
To believe,
It's
like
not just the highlights. It isn't. It's
and
very real.
then people get into the arena with you, and they're like, "You didn't say this," which is why I'm like, "Stop sanitizing your testimony,
Mm,
please,
that
because 'cause you're setting people up for failure because they're like, 'Well, she didn't do this, like, am I doing this wrong?'"
am
No.
I doing yes.
No, you gotta live authentically and out loud, which is why I chronicled the whole leaving and moving and I was looking ugly on there, ugly crying. Y'all hear me?
The
I was
ugly cry.
I
And that's
was
rough for a beauty influencer. Okay.
look, face puffy. I was going through there. But I never wanted anyone to say, "How did you do it?" I want to point you back to the evidence because you're seeing
Yeah,
this in real time, how I
you're
did it.
seeing it.
And it took a while for me to get my smile back and all the things to become back who I am, to flow back to that state of who I was because I was deconstructing a lot. Um, but your future will thank you, whatever that means for the listener. Your
Mm.
future will thank you.
Oh, so much good stuff, so much good stuff. I
Clock
love that. I
it.
know, clock that. I get this from my daughter. Look at me just being 20 something.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Dr. Bree. Thank you so much. You still her.
Period. Thank
You
you.
are her. And I appreciate everything that you have shared. I know that this is going to teach and preach, and it's going to help folks to really think about where they are and what they're doing, especially if they know they have it in their gut, like they've been feeling that same thing. It's so important to hear someone say obedience,
Mhm.
right? To hear someone say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be hard. You're going to be scared.
It's supposed to be hard.
It's supposed to be hard, but that's why it'll be worth it
It'll be worth it.
because it builds you. It builds you. It builds your
And
courage.
to the last thing, you've done hard things before.
Right.
Look at your life. You have done hard things before and you have survived. This is
Mm,
no different.
it's not different.
Mm-mm.
But we get very caught up. People feel like I'm too old for that. I can't make that kind of move. And I'm on this side of the game saying, yes, you can. I didn't step out in this way until I was 50. Yes, you can.
And you can do both and you'll
You
make
can
time for
do
it
both of
until
those
you're
things.
ready. Yeah.
Still doing both, like, you can do those things. It's that authenticity is what's driving you, and it's exciting
Yeah.
in a way that is revitalizing and energizing and not soul-sucking, which is what it
Yeah.
is if you stay in a space you
Yes.
shouldn't be in.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know you're in the wrong
You
space if
know.
it feels like it's soul-sucking,
Yes.
'cause it's not supposed to. That's not
No.
what we're called to.
You with ease.
Mhm.
When you step into ease, you'll know. You've
Yeah.
gotten in your lane. You'll know.
Right, because the work is not like it's not the same.
No. It's a
You're
different.
doing it and you wanna do it, and yes, you'll be up all night doing stuff, and you'll be, you know, like, "Oh my
Literally.
goodness, I need to rest, I need to work on my self-care,"
That
like,
part.
but
I've been
not because you hate what you do and someone is dragging you through it, but because you just need to work through your balance.
and rest is resistance. We talk a
Yes.
lot about resisting and all the things. I done got so much rest this last year and a half. I'm like, do I do what I do now? I wake up
I'm
and
like,
did it
I'm
now.
feeling renewed
I'm
and
happy. How
rejuvenated.
y'all doing, right? Yeah.
I love that for you. I love that for you. I love that for all of us.
You got to get back to the basics. Get back to who you are. Whoever's listening, back to who you are
100%.
and ask yourself the hard questions. And then you'll know the time and season because there's windows of opportunity. Every day is pregnant with opportunity, but there are times and
Mhm.
seasons where you have a grace to do certain things where it will be easy. And I just want everyone
Mhm.
to do it when you sense it. I would rather
Right.
you be early than not arrive at all.
That.
So that's just my 2 cents. I know I could keep going.
I know, I know, I know. No, we're gonna have to circle back.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna have to circle back because we're gonna wanna know all the things, and I'll figure out how, but we're gonna have to
Okay.
have you back and just come back and just talk more about all the other things that emerge over time. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us. Thank you for your story and what you've taught us through it. It's so important, and I'm packing it all in too. I'm like, let me remind myself. Let me go back and listen to this. Remind myself because it brings me joy. It brings me joy to
You.
see you succeed and to do what you do. So
I
thank you.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to, oops, stop our recording.